Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to a transfer show special, a proper transfer show special, ladies and gents. If you haven't seen it for any reason in the last few minutes, David Ornstein has tweeted not once, but twice about Florian Wirtz and Liverpool. And yeah, all right, it may have been one article related to the same tweet. And yes, I may have spelt bomber wrong, but who cares right now with the news that has just broken? Because we are going to get into this. And I'm your normal host, Dave Davis, coming to you from a glorious Edinburgh now. It was nice before on the previous pod. Now it is absolutely glorious. And we didn't even have time to ring Trev and get sorted. We just have to get straight into this. So for those that haven't seen it, let me put it up on the screen, ladies and gents. Now, I'll do it in two parts that it got tweeted for you as well. And in fact, I've got them both up there. So let me get these right for you. This was the big news of the hour. Only, what is that? Just over half an hour ago, David Ornstein, and you know what weight his tweets carry, put out, Liverpool given huge boost in Florian Wirtz pursuit. Bayern Munich believe the 22-year-old is on course for an Anfield move if he leaves Bayer Leverkusen this summer. Clubs would still need to agree the deal, as in Leverkusen and Liverpool. It's not a formality. But the Germany international favours Anfield. How sweet does that hit? Let's be honest, we had a bit of guarded optimism, it's fair to say, because we'd seen all the stories. We'd seen the likes of Paul Joyce, Lewis Steele saying, yeah, Liverpool are in the mix. They're trying. We heard about the meeting. We talked about it on the transfer show, but we just had to be super guarded because all the lines across the board, the unanimous briefing was Bayern were favourites. So you had to steel yourself a little bit, didn't you? You couldn't deny that at all. But not anymore. You've heard the narrative just spinning a little bit different, and you'd heard it almost change this afternoon after a quiet yesterday to this, and you just started to wonder. So when this first tweet hit, do you remember that Vince McMahon meme where it's kind of like leaning back, going like, oh, and then the second tweet came in, didn't it? Florian Wirtz was in Northwest England recently to house hunt. I think we knew about this anyway, but it's still sweet when it's the Ornstein alarm, isn't it? Before potential Liverpool switch. Should it proceed? Not to City. Bayern Munich have been informed of the playmaker's preference for us. It's that fact that Bayern have been told he wants us. That is just absolutely massive because we'd heard all the stories, or we'd read them all, haven't we, about meeting Honus, Uli Honus, wasn't he, somewhere? And you felt, oh, God, they're going to have one final pitch. This could be to wrap it up. You just didn't like the feel of it. But now, yeah, James LFC 86 there saying, I'm not letting myself get excited yet. I do get that, James. But we're cracking open extra tins tonight with this. We've got to be excited. Liverpool are in the race for an elite attacker. And as MK says there, maybe rightly, whatever your race or religion, please supplicate. Like, sweet baby Jesus and the orphans and Moses, please let Florian Wirtz arrive at Liverpool. That would just be insane. And by the way, if he gets this done, Michael Edwards, you 5'5", spectacled, sexy bastard, you would be back big time. You'd have to ignore all that whole, the nerds and how people, this would be, because we've been told Michael Edwards is the one on this. So we've got to face into that, haven't we? If he gets this, and this is not to be derogatory to Richard Hughes at all, but Edwards would be back big time, baby. It is, as Medieval Knievel says there, just exciting times at Anfield. Yes, we've got to land it. Yes, there's all the steps to go through, of course, but it is exciting times. And just because we're nice people like this, we've got the Ornstein article up for you on the screen there. So just a few bits to call out, just give you kind of the opening two paragraphs, which you've seen. Bayern Munich believe the playmaker will not be joining them. That is massive. Wirtz has been targeted by both clubs, but is believed to favour Liverpool. And who wouldn't want to be a Red at a time like this? I mean, this just gets me horny, to be honest. Wirtz is among the most sought-after attacking talents in world football, having played a key part in Leverkusen's 23-24 Bundesliga title-winning campaign. So in that season, he provided 18 goals and 20 assists, 38 goal contributions across 49. Even this season, where they're not going to win the league, 16 goals and 15 assists, 31 goal contributions. This is for a player that is just turned 22. Those stats, I mean, if that doesn't turn you on, I can't really help you, to be honest. It's just absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. And we did this the other night, but we had a look at him on transfer market metrics, and you can call it blowing my own trumpet. I don't care. But me and Bart's did a massive dive into Wirtz and where he could play. We looked at his understats. We looked at his XT. We looked at everything. So if you do want to now get a deep dive on Florian Wirtz, that is top of our videos right now on Anfield Index YouTube. So say what you want, but 15, 16 minutes, I'll bet good money you will not regret at all. And this one, ladies and gents, I mean, you saw the stats from that Ornstein article, and just as you can see now, insane. You look at his FB ref profile, and if we profile him as an attacking mid or winger, I mean, passes attempted 98th percentile, take-ons 96th percentile, shot creating actions over 5.5 a game, 93rd percentile. It's incredible. You then look at him if you want to talk about him as a forward and maybe as a false nine option. I mean, that's just crazy. Assists, 99th percentile. Shot creating actions, 99th percentile. Passes attempted, progressive passes, successful take-ons, 99th percentile. Elite, ladies and gents. Progressive passes received, 98th percentile. Progressive carries for forward, 97th percentile. If, and it's still an if, touch wood, praise be to Jesus and baby Moses and all the orphans and stuff, we can land him because it's still got to be done, of course. This is elite. This is a game changer. And do you know what happens straight away overnight? If there was any doubt whatsoever, Liverpool are favourites for 21 now. I didn't think it was possible, but maybe just even an extra 1% on Sunday with this happening. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows? But it's just absolutely insane how good this kid just turned 21 is. I mean, even when you compare him, I mean, if he was a false nine, it's probably unfair to compare him to Diogo Jota. Maybe it's unfair to compare Diogo Jota to him, more importantly, because look how he dominates him in the blue. Some even said, and Bart's talked about it the other night, look at him compared to João Pedro, not even in the same stratosphere if he was to be almost a false nine role and play that. It's just insane how good this kid is. And then it is important to mention this from the left, because it is possible that he could come from the left, and I'll explain that shortly. But against Luis Diaz, you can see the FB ref profiles. It's out of this world just how good Florian Wirtz is. And if you want to get any negatives out of the way, people will say bully tax, which we talk about on transfer market metrics being about 16%. Even then, he's still elite. Elite. 22. I can't remember a time when I was more excited about the signing. And if you also think about the links we've had this summer, you think about Isaac Alvarez, and don't get me wrong, either of those have been massive at Anfield, but this just hits differently somehow. Maybe I'm struggling to verbalize that, but it's impossible not to be excited about this one. And honestly, there's a line I want to bring up, or a couple of lines I actually want to bring up from Sam Maguire's Patron that we called out. So, a big shout out to Sam. I'll see if I can sort of dig these up because I did want to say them. But he wrote, for me, what I've seen, the best article so far on Florian Wirtz. So I have Sam's permission before anyone jumps on this, but just listen to this as a couple of paragraphs. Wirtz has averaged 2.83 shots per 90 this term and 5.81 shot creating actions. At the time of writing, he's averaged 0.99 goal creating actions per 90 in the Bundesliga. Essentially, that's one, isn't it? 0.99. Come on. So pretty much he makes a goal a game or scores a goal a game. That's insane. As Sam also writes, combine that with his 5.06 progressive carries, 7.01 progressive passes, and 12 progressive passes received, and you start to get a picture of him as a player. He can score, create, progress play via a pass or a dribble, and carry the ball. Florian Wirtz could solve world hunger. Florian Wirtz can do it all. Ladies and gents, if you just joined it in or just arriving now, ladies and gents, welcome to you. Feeling you enjoy the party. I'll put it back on the screen just because it's a beautiful thing to watch. Hang it in the Louvre, as they say. Liverpool given huge boost in Florian Wirtz's pursuit. Bayern Munich believe the 22-year-old is on course for Anfield if he leaves Bayern Leverkusen this summer. Club still need to agree a deal. It's not a formality, but the German international favours Liverpool. Now, this is interesting. I'm glad someone's mentioned this. And James Poons just said there, he's a classic number 10. We might be playing very differently next season. There's a few points to that, James, everyone else, that if you look at the way Leverkusen set up this season, and I've watched a bit of Leverkusen, I'll be honest, I wasn't scouting Florian Wirtz. That wasn't even on my radar, but it was a dream. Now it could come a reality. But talking about Leverkusen and the way they set up, they play with a 3-4-2-1. Get my fingers right there. 3-4-2-1. And Wirtz is the left-sided player of those two number 10s, the two just behind Patrick Schick, who normally lines up for them. So when you talk about those, it's important to keep in mind that he comes from the left. Now, he's not an outright winger, but he's just an attacking midfielder who comes from the left. Can anyone say Felipe Coutinho? And maybe I'm getting miles ahead of myself with this. You can shout me down on it, but I've already got visions of Florian Wirtz cutting in from the left-hand side as Milos Kerkez goes bombing past him at 1,000 miles an hour. And Wirtz uses that decoy run, slips it into Salah, 1-0, 9 minutes gone at Anfield. Insane, eh? Absolutely insane, ladies and gents. There is so much to be excited about as a Liverpool fan. This, if it was even possible, has just built up the weekend even more. And the final thing I really wanted to say on this, Bayern space. I'll give him his due because he's got absolutely hammered on Twitter and different bits, mainly from Bayern fans, but he's not wrong, was he? As he's tweeted today, I'll give him a bit of credit. Shout out to Bayern Space. Liverpool fans, the pleasure was truly mine. Insane, eh? Absolutely insane. So you can find it on The Athletic. You can find it on David Ornstein's tweet. You'll find it on Pornhub, probably top search behind College Ed Dorm Party or something like that. But just in case you missed it, Florian Wirtz was in Northwest England recently to house hunt before a potential Liverpool switch. As David Ornstein tweeted, we've got huge confidence in our pursuit. Liverpool are the favourites. Please, please, Michael Edwards, get this one over the line. This is an elite attacker. As I asked David Lynch earlier in Media Matters, would an elite attacker define the summer? And he said, yeah, it's absolutely the priority above everything else. This would be a game changer and a half. What a weekend it's set to be. What a week it's set to be. Fingers crossed this one comes to fruition, ladies and gents. But there we go. We wanted to get it out for you. We'll see what happens. But, ladies and gents, that was a transfer show special for Anfield Index.